Chief Justice of India speaking out on one of the interactions that had happened at a religious function with Prime Minister Modi. The images had gone viral. Remember, this was the Ganesh Chaturthi, the Ganpati Puja that was organized at Chief Justice of India's residence, where Prime Minister Modi had also arrived. Now, many had questioned that if this was all right, if this is okay, to which the CGI, and this is a rare reaction, remember, coming in on this matter from CGI, saying meeting with the heads of government is normal. There was no discussion on judicial verdicts. We in fact do discuss judicial infrastructure and mature enough, knowing fairly well at what time not to talk with judicial moves. This is a robust dialogue that these meetings, if at all, are a part of. My colleague, our legal correspondent, Kanu Sarda, is joining me on that. Kanu, I would say that it's a very rare response for a CGI to be responding knowing there's a social media chatter, so to say, about one of his interactions. Tell us more about what has he said.
Well, Pooja, the controversy regarding the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's presence over at the Chief Justice's house during the Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations, the declaration that has come from the Chief Justice of India comes just days before he has to demit his office on November 10th. So, very crucial statement saying that they discuss.
Kanu, I'll come back to you in just a short while. So that's the first interaction. I'll just reiterate what the Chief Justice of India has said. Meeting with the heads of government is normal. There's been no discussion on judicial verdicts. We discuss, if at all we do, it is about judicial infrastructure, for example, with the Prime Minister. And each one of us are mature enough not to talk about judicial moves at a time like this. Meetings like these are a part of robust dialogue as well. There were some who were trying to target even the CJI, saying how can PM Modi come in? This is as much about judiciary, executive, legislature, and therefore perhaps this is why he has responded and saying that perhaps a lot is being read into this simple interaction. More responses have come in. Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP has also reacted to this. Let's listen in.
Chief Justice of India has slammed, rightly so, the doubters who are creating all kinds of doubts and making all kinds of aspersions on the post of the CGI constitutional position by saying that because PM attended Ganesh Aarti at CGI's residence, it was a deal being struck between them. This is the most unwholesome, illogical and ridiculous comment, and the CGI has called it out. The fact of the matter is that many Chief Justice of India often meet Prime Minister, meet the government heads, meet the Chief Ministers. This is how cordial relations should exist.
So let's try and get in more views on this. Remember, this had literally become a huge political showdown. Opposition parties were charging at the Chief Justice of India over this. I'm now joined by Majid Memon. He's a senior TMC leader right now. You tell me, sir, good morning, about what do you think of this response by the Chief Justice of India saying this is a part of a dialogue. We clearly did not discuss judicial moves. But do you think the CGI should have felt the need to clarify? Is the TMC convinced with it?
Good morning to all your viewers. Chief Justice of India appears to be feeling a bit of sense of guilt that he is trying to now explain and try to tell the people of this country, 145 crore people, that, well, how the constitution is to be followed and how the theory of separation of power and coordination among the three wings of the government,
yes,
the executive, the legislature and judiciary have to interact or to keep distance. I don't think there is a need for him after 75 years of the constitutional exercise now, with so many decisions having come as to what should be the relationship between these three wings inter se. And I think what he is suggesting today is only trying to mitigate the error that he has committed. In fact, he ought to have mildly accepted that it may not be wholly proper on his part to have invited the Prime Minister at his residence. If he did that, probably things would have been better. Instead, he is now trying to mitigate his blunder by explaining...
Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Mr. Memon? Because it was not a secret meeting. It was, as we have seen, that the images were right there on the camera. But also, what is a blunder? It's not as if any of them have stepped their boundaries, sir.
The chief of the judiciary calling the chief of the executive. Now, now he's trying to say that our meeting has nothing to do with our decisions. Who is going to believe this? Which person is going to take this? You have not with the chief of the other wing, whom you are supposed to correct, whom you are supposed to criticize where it errs, and you go call him at your residence at such time and then try to justify that what you did is right.
But Mr. Memon, doesn't that happen in the political establishment
no, one minute.
TMC
Just 1 minute,
meeting
1
with
minute.
BJP or others?
You have said, just a minute,
Sure,
you
sir.
have said that it was not done secretly. I wish it was done secretly. Why did he call for cameras and made a publicity out of it? If it was purely personal, it ought not to have been publicized in the manner in which it has been done. On the contrary, his having publicized it has only worsened his situation. I'm sorry, with respect to the chair of the Chief Justice of India, and of course with the respect to the present Chief Justice of India, I must say that what he has done has only damaged the prestige and dignity of the highest court of land.
All right, Mr. Majid Memon, and who's also, of course, from the legal fraternity and is also a TMC leader. Appreciate you joining us, sir, with your perspective. So Majid Memon says this is not convincing. It's just trying to downplay and mitigate the blunder. Our colleague Kanu Sarda is updating on that. So Kanu, it looks like that the political showdown is not going anywhere. But you tell me, because I do find it very rare, isn't it, that the CJI is mentioning it. And does that mitigate, does that reduce the kind of chatter we had seen?
Well, Pooja, as Majid Menon is saying that, the situation is really amazing because why, the CJI had to come out and give such clarifications months after, the controversy had erupted, does raise some questions. But the fact is that he is only trying to clarify his position because he is limiting his office on November 10th. So very few days are left for his over 2 years of at the office of the CJI. So he is trying to clear all the doubts, whatever it is, being it in a statement on the Ayodhya judgment that he had to go down before the God before delivering the verdict.
Kanu, stay on with me. Stay on with me because we are getting non-stop reactions from the opposition leaders who had been all guns blazing over this visual that you see. This was in the month of September. Remember, there was this Ganesh Chaturthi festival. Rashid Alvi is joining me on the phone line. Rashid Alvi ji, good morning. Pooja Shali here. आप मुझे बताइए कि इसमें क्या गलत था और अब जब सीजीआई कह रहे हैं कि कोई बातचीत नहीं हुई, हमने कोई जुडिशियल मूव डिस्कस नहीं किया, तो क्या आपको लगता है कि अब ये बात थम जानी चाहिए, एंड हो जानी चाहिए? अभी भी कांग्रेस को लगता है कि गलत हुआ था जो मीटिंग हुई थी, प्रधानमंत्री आए थे?
Yeah, निश्चित तौर से it was absolutely wrong. You know, politics is a game of perception. You know, if Chief Justice of India is inviting Prime Minister of the country, what message they want to give to this country? And मैं बहुत उससे पूछना चाहता हूँ. It was a puja function. You are inviting Narendra Modi. Why are you not inviting opposition leaders? They belong to this country. They are important leaders of the country. If you are performing puja, you can invite opposition leaders also. But you are not inviting, you are inviting only Prime Minister. So definitely, people will raise questions. That is the reason, not only Congress party, even a common man may raise this question that why Chief Justice is inviting Prime Minister. If you have to discuss anything regarding Supreme Court, regarding infrastructure, regarding any administrative problems, then you can talk to Law Minister. Why Prime Minister? And even if you want to talk anything regarding this infrastructure, then it is not the occasion that you are inviting at home. And Prime Minister is coming and publicity is being given to
Mr. Alvi, you tell me, you're such a senior leader and you're from the Congress party. You also interact with and go to events of other party leaders. There were other dignitaries also at that point. It was not just Prime Minister Modi. There were other judges, other senior officials. Are we making too much of a religious interaction, of a meeting that has taken place? It's Ganesh Puja. People do throng to other areas. Why is the opposition not convinced with the defense that has come in from the CJI?
It is all right. I do not know how many judges were there, who was there, who was not there. But I am asking you, if he is inviting Prime Minister, why did he not invite opposition leaders? You just tell me. leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, so many leaders of other political parties. You are offering puja. You are not doing anything else. You can. This is a country of 80% Hindu communities living in this country. You can invite them. Why only Prime Minister? You just tell me.
But do you think? Okay,
Prime
Mr. Alvi,
Minister
fine. I
has put any
appreciate.
pressure on him.
I understand what you're saying. So, final question here: that do you think that that this was absolutely wrong? That it was unacceptable that he called Prime Minister Modi? Are you saying that this puts in question his verdicts?
Judiciary should give in an impression to the people that it is absolutely independent. When our country is passing through a very difficult time, when one judge from, I think, Karnataka is saying, Allah, Jai Shri Ram Masjid के अंदर बोलो कोई हरज नहीं है. इलाहाबाद में एक जज कह रहा है कि गाय को नेशनल एनिमल कर देना चाहिए. In Calcutta, one judge has resigned, has joined Bharatiya Janata Party. So this is the situation of this country. And at this time, when so many judges are behaving like this, you are inviting Prime Minister at your residence. So definitely, people will raise so many questions.
Okay, Rashid Alvi, I appreciate you joining us with your perspective on this. Opposition not convinced with the defense coming in from the CJI.